Savior, Jesus Christ. Hope everybody's doing well, staying strong. We're definitely in the day of evil. Uh, it's pretty wicked, and you can't get people to even see it, no matter how hard you try. I believe everything's like locked and loaded. I got a few dreams I'm going to share with you that I had last night, and I believe it was almost like watching a video game. Where people would be hunting people down with guns, and other people would be going, hey, and then they'd be running away, then they'd shoot them in the back. Like people were like killing one another, but it all looked like a video game. And I've never watched video games like this, okay, where they're killing people. I've never watched them, but this is what it looked like. I might have seen an ad or something on the internet where they showed people playing games like this. But it was crazy, man. And two different times I've seen it like this. Let's listen to it. And then the third one, I've only got 3 of them this morning. The third one was like people hanging on to sentimental things, worldly, worried about sentimental things when we're living in the day of evil. I remember one time I went to the police department in Jellicoe. That's like in Kentucky. I went into the police department to tell them, I said, man, because we had food cards and we were trying to give food cards to the homeless to help get something to eat. And I seen people out there doing drug deals right there in front of me. I seen it. And then the police station was like not even a block up the road. It was like almost next door to it. I went over to the police department and I said, man, we came here with these food cards trying to help some of the homeless because we knew that Jellicos are really bad. It's like the whole town is wiped out. And now get this, you know what they call their school? Blue Devils. They call them devils. They've got another school around here. They call them Red Devils. I mean, if it's not like the writing on the wall, Anyhow, I told the police, I said, they're out here doing drug deals, man. We're trying to help homeless people, but they're just doing drugs. And he goes, they got no place. And he was yelling at me. They got no place else to go, because they lost everything. And they just kept getting deeper into the drugs. Then they got no place to go. There's so many that they can't even do nothing about it. That's what they're basically saying. And like what I ran into the other day, day before yesterday, guy passing out there, while they're setting up to do some sort of work, moving stuff out of a trailer into a trailer. I don't know, I think somebody was moving and they couldn't get a semi in there, so they were loading it at that spot, someplace where they couldn't get a semi in there. Anyhow, cop told me the same thing. There's nothing we could do about it. And I know the drugs that are coming in, it's from the government. They're flooding it. If you do any history on it, I posted something about that yesterday in my post about what these drug dealers have been doing. And it's America. Governments. They've been fighting over all these drug fields, like you think they're going over there fighting against certain countries or whatever. It's over the drugs, poppy fields. They just don't tell you. They said during Vietnam, they said, how did they smuggle the drugs in? In body bags of soldiers that were being killed because they were fighting over it. So they just put the drugs in the body bags and ship them. Nobody would be searching them. This place was flooded with it. LSD, all of that stuff. Government. You didn't have people making this stuff up. This was your governments. They made this stuff up and selling it. And nobody says nothing. Nobody cares. You talk about the beast of the earth. They're all around us. And people. and they're just like sheep going to the slaughter. They don't even care. So I'm like this. Everything I've been seeing, you guys. Yeah. Everything I've been seeing, I'm like this. I think it's just time because, like, I know for a fact, to get involved, to try to, help and say something about it, they're not going to do nothing. How do you know this? By looking at the streets. They're laying on the streets everywhere. And it's just getting worse and worse. While they tell you, oh, we're breaking down on these drug deals, you guys are flooding it. Why are they doing it? They're creating problems. While they let the immigrants in, oh, we're getting them out. No, you're not. You guys are setting up a system to label and mark everybody. So you can say, we want to know everybody that's in this country and those that ain't. And they ain't going to be able to get a job unless they have this. They create the problem. And it's like a flood. Everything. I mean, it's like insane. But that's why I say I think we're going to soon be out of here. It's really close. And that's where I'm at the point where, I'm ready to just rest in the Lord now. Let these people do what they're doing. I don't know if it's because of being around what I've been seeing the last couple days, but the violence is what I was seeing. Workplace, it's going to be like everywhere, the drugs, and everybody's okay with it. And it's like they're all like-minded is what I was seeing. And if you're not part of it, they're going to be against you. They're not going to like you. It's like the whole system, whether it's the drug dealers and the drug addicts and even the police. It's like they're all against you. There's nothing, they say there's nothing they can do about it, and they don't like it when you do speak up. And then all of a sudden it's just like a flood. It's all over every place, all around you. Then they're like, nothing we can do about it. It's insane. And these people they're just vessels fit for destruction. They're going to be destroyed. Things are getting really, really bad, including all those people that say, there's nothing we can do about it. You could speak up. You could say something. You could, arrest them, pick them up, get their drugs, seize their vehicles with their drugs and all that. Oh, you got to throw it out? Well, at least you got all their drugs and stuff. Take their drugs off, but it's a huge problem. Like I said, when you got the government bringing tons and tons of it onto the streets, just tons of it. And they manufacture and they make it stuff. It is meant to do what it's going to do. A lot of these people, man, because they're so bad, you could pick them up, throw them in a container, put them on a cargo ship, and you could dump them out in the ocean and nobody would care. They'd just be going, the streets are cleaned up. They'd be glad. And then a week later, a nuclear bomb will go off on you. They're creating the problems where you're not going to see even what's coming. I know, I was shown big cities are going to be nuked. I was shown this. It's real and it's going to happen. Then after they do that, the areas that are not nuked, they're going to come in and do what they do, like mop up. They'll be coming against people, Christians, they call themselves Christians. They need to wake up. They need to wake up. And if they're still holding on with hope, thinking Trump's going to do something, man. I showed you in those little videos I put up where Trump, who he is, 911. That's why everything, man, it's been going on a long time, man. Just not everybody can see it. And if they can't see it, there's a reason for it. They're in a lot of trouble. The Lord said, don't let these days come upon you unaware. And they're going to be going after anybody that believes in Christ. Probably a lot of these Christians that stand behind their government while they're murdering and killing people. Anyhow, it's crazy. You're either for it or you're against it. And that's what I was seeing in the dream last night. And anybody I was around, we're not supposed to be around it. We're not. I was like sitting in a place and somebody took these bars away from me and they said, you're not supposed to be in here with your bars on. Like captain bars? In other words, like a captain. And they said, you're not supposed to be in here with your captain's bars on. I'm thinking, where am I? What am I doing here? And then I started seeing how people were. And I'm talking everybody. I looked at this one woman and I said, aren't you tired of being used? And no, they're not. Yeah, they're basically going to have the same spirit. And like I said, you guys, I think this is going to be a lot more. It's all around. That's why I told you I don't even care to be out there anymore. There's no place that I want to be out there. And I just to be away from it all. Because I don't like seeing it. All right, that was one. King James Bible, they become like them. Psalms 115, 4 through 8. All right, this time it was a couple of things. It was almost like watching a video game. And it was like they wanted you to play it or something. I don't know. But it was people trying to get away from people with guns. And they'd be holding up their arms back up away. Then they'd turn and they'd run over the top of buildings or whatever. While the other people were shooting at them. And people tried to get away. And then they'd take off running after them until they caught up and shot them. And then it's like they're trying to get me to play this game. And I said, I don't want to play it. I said, I don't even like these things, video games or any of it. And I said, I don't want nothing to do with it. And you guys, I think these might be spirits that are trying to do it. And then they came up with trying to get me to be like a dealer, to deal marijuana. Weird stuff. Dealing, I don't know what they call it. It looks just like marijuana, but you don't get high on it. And then they were trying to say that you need to also do the other, because otherwise people are going to see you and they're not going to like you. And I said, I don't care. And I said, I don't want nothing to do with it. And I've been praying to the Lord, remove this. Why am I even seeing it? And it's like they're trying to get you involved in some kind of way. Even playing the games. And they were both like video games. Like if you were watching some sort of a game that you play. And I've never played them. but that's exactly what it looked like. Yeah, so I'm not sure if something's happening around that, but I didn't like it. And but it was like a for sure video game. Violence. Maybe that's what makes people the way they are. I don't know, but I'll tell you what. After seeing that guy yesterday, the way he was like rah rah rah, acting all angry and stuff like that. I think these people, maybe they did all that stuff. I think there's a reason for people playing these violent video games. Even as children, they were doing it, and they thought it was fun. It's the thing that I believe that there's a purpose for everything that they do. They want you to become, they put these things, these images in your mind. It's like programming. Can they be programmed? Yes. The Bible says, renew the spirit of your mind. Then that's why you have to die to this, because this is where Satan is working to destroy you. And he doesn't want you to be spiritually minded. These people on these drugs and stuff, at this point in time, it's not likely that they're going to come out of it. Because number one, it takes a long time to get unhooked. If they're hooked on it, they need a lot of special help. And then they're godless. Don't believe. I've met a lot of these so-called recovering people, even in these churches, trying to witness to them, and they go on believing whatever the world is telling them still. It's messed up. All right, this final one here. It was like I was getting ready to do some work inside an interior of a home for somebody. And there was this, in his closet, it was like some sort of a flimsy, thin metal type thing with a door that opens and closes. I don't know what went in it, but it was used for something in a closet probably that would hang on. He was worried, like it was very sentimental to him. And he didn't want it to get hurt. And he goes, just do everything and leave it there without moving it, because he was worried about it. And I'm thinking to myself, in these times we're living, man, and you're worried about this garbage, this stuff's going to melt. It's going to burn up. And, I think a lot of people still have their mindset, on flesh worldliness and stuff. I can't go out anywhere anymore, you guys, because I don't like it. It's everything that I see. I don't like it. And everybody's living in a blindness, and they don't want us. It's like they don't want to see. And even if you tell them, I had a guy I witnessed to the other day. He said he was awake. He could see the times, see the chemtrails. And then when I told him, I said, about these graven images. And then he's, Paris gave that. France gave that to us. I said, well, it doesn't matter who gave it to us. We set it up. And I'm trying to tell him how all the things that we believe in, that we follow in this country, and what I've had people say, I like what it stands for. The Bible speaks about that. Anything that stands, has feet, legs, don't make no images that stand and you bow down to them. Because they don't walk, they don't see, they don't hear. And, people just don't seem to, they think this is going to still go on. Bible says that too. A lot of people might sit there and say, yeah, they can see it's getting wicked, but they think it's still going to go on for a while. And they can't see who Trump is. Bible says not everybody's going to be able to see. It says an evil and wicked generation will receive no signs. And I see signs on the backs of cars. Even driving here today, I've seen soul a few times. The cars, soul, soul, soul. You see escape, focus, Genesis, the first Bible, where they say craters hit the earth. Craters, and that's what the impact looks like. I believe what that is when the fountains of the deep opened up and flooded the world. Why? Because that's water above our head. They make it sound like asteroids came in, and they still do today. Try to tell you that, and people believe it. This place is wicked, man. And it's difficult because people want to believe it. I'm at the point now where, you know what, I get the things that I need to take to the cabin. Done. I'm done. And just go back to the cabin, man. Do my little exercise on that tread machine just so I could sleep good at night, because that's where I'm going to get my exercise. But there's basically nothing you can do at this point. I mean, I'll still witness people when I come in contact with them. But can you come in contact with drug addicts? No. I mean, try to witness to somebody that's in a church. How much more do you think these drug addicts are going to listen to anything? Then they got an addiction going on. It's like crazy. All right, Psalms 115, verse 3 through 8. I'll probably come on live today, you guys, when I get back to my cabin. So this might be a shorter video here today. Our God is in heaven. He has done whatsoever he has pleased. All right, there's nothing happening that he's not aware of. Everything. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes they have, but they see not. You think the churches would have gotten on this a long time ago, knowing that Statue of Liberty. But you got to be born again, because it really is. It's a spirit. There's many, many, many spirits at work in this world, and it blinds people. Literally, it's like a monkey on your back. Have you ever heard that saying? Like a monkey on your back? Got your eyes covered, got your ears covered. They don't want you to see. They don't want you to hear. They don't want you to speak. They've got ears, but they hear not. Noses they have, and they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet they have, but they walk not. Neither. See, I had somebody tell me, I like what it stands for. What does the word of God say, It's an abomination to God, man. What did Israel get in trouble for all the times? For these images that we got. But no, God blessed America. See, they don't discern between the God of this world and the God of heaven. Or we haven't been a country very long. That's right, we haven't. And it's about to get laid to waste. It's about to be annihilated. We haven't been a country very long. And the devil knows that. That's why he says, one day to me is 1,000 years to you. And he reminds us of this a few times in the Bible. Do they teach it? I don't know. They're too focused on how blessed they are and the worldliness and, then they're teaching you to go after it. And Colossians chapter 2, verse 8, they're doing all the things that these scriptures warn you not to do. They're doing it. And these people don't even know it. And if you try to tell them, they only get look at you like, he's a sharp cookie, and what are you doing here? You come here just to disrupt our little happy bubble. I like what they stand for. It's strong, you guys. That's why I say it is in 25. We are going to be leaving here real soon. I've been 3 times in the last month. I've seen where I've been told 25. 25. And then we were like prisoners of war. There is a war. It's called the Day of Evil. They that make them are like them. So is everyone that trusts in them. I don't care if France gave it to them. They like it. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 18 and 19. What profiteth the graven image, that the maker thereof graven it, the molten image, and the teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusteth therein, to make dumb idols? Woe unto him that says to the wood, awake, to the dumb stone, arise. It shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there's no breath in it at all, in the midst of it. Jonah chapter 2, verse 8. They that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy. This is what's happening. You know, it's wild, man. I'm at this point right now, man. I'm telling you, I'm just like, so enough is enough. I'm ready to just kick back at the cabin now. Wherever people are, that's just where they are, you know. And I think it's high time. We're at the final few months. Like I said, that guy looking at me going, that's exactly the face that I seen when we got away from everybody. And then they just continued until they were lifted out of the water. You know? And I've had a time where I was told, sit down and buckle up. In other words, it's going to get pretty rough here now. And look at what's happening. I think it's gotten to that stage now, and I can clearly see where it's all going. Now, if I continue messing around, that would be stupid on my part. Now I'm at the point where I'm ready to just come out of it and let it be. You know, I might come on here and do some videos like this, but I'm going to do my best to avoid everything that's going on out there in the world right now, because it's exceedingly wicked. They forsake their own mercy. We've been given mercy here, you guys. Those that observe lying vanities. This place is a flood of it. You know it. They forsake their own mercy. Well, I don't observe them, and I'm getting away from it. I've been talking about it. People only get offended by it when I say that. You know, that's why the word says God's going to remove everything that offends. You know, everything that offends. They're all okay with this stuff. Do they care at all how they've left the ordinances of God while they say how blessed they are? Oh, America's blessed, man. Yeah. Yeah, let's sing it. You know, let's sing a song here. It'll make you really feel it is blessed, because we wrote a nice song. And they just keep drilling it, training them up from children. Jeremiah 10:8. They are altogether brutish and foolish. The stock is a doctrine of vanities. A lot going on here, man. Isaiah 44:9-20. They that make a graven image are all of them vanity, and their delectable things will not profit, and they are their own witnesses. They see not nor know, and that they may be ashamed. Who has formed a god or molten a graven image that is profitable for nothing? Behold, all his fellows will be ashamed, and the workmen, they are of men. Let them all be gathered together. Remember, that's what it says. Everything's going to be gathered. Let them stand up. Yet they shall fear, and they shall be ashamed together. The smith with the tongs both worketh in the coals, and fashion it with hammers, and worketh it the strange of his arms. Yeah, he is hungry, and his strength faileth. He drinketh no water, and is faint. The carpenter stretch out his rule. He maketh it out with a line. He fitteth it with planes, and he marketh it out with the compass. He maketh it after the figure of a man, according to the beauty of his man, that they may remain in the house. What do you think these Zionists are saying right now? People that are doing all this, see, they acknowledge the devil will acknowledge what he wants to acknowledge out of the Bible and come and slaughter everybody right now. That's what he's going to do. We know what Jesus said. You know, we're told to be separate, come out from among them, touch not the unclean thing. We don't follow graven images. Now, even when the Statue of Liberty was out there, I didn't think one thing of it one way or another. I knew it was just a piece of metal out there that they made. You know, even when I was sleeping, I never had any kind of like, well, our Statue of Liberty, how great America is. I was never there. I never was like how a lot of these people think and talk. He heweth him down cedars. He takes the cypress and the oak, which is strengthened for himself among the trees of the forest. He planteth an ash, and the rain does nourish it. Then it be for a man to burn, and he will take thereof and warm himself. Yeah, he kindleth it, and baketh bread. Yeah, he maketh a god, and worshipeth it with the same piece of wood, you know. He burns part thereof in fire, and part thereof he eateth flesh. He roasteth roast, and is satisfied. Yeah, he warms himself, and says, ah, I am warm. I have seen a fire. And the residue thereof he maketh a god, even his graven image. He falleth down unto it, and worshipeth it, and prays unto it, and says, deliver me, for thou art my God. You guys, I told you how I seen that wheel. It was in a watch, okay? And when it opened up, I seen people walking up. Yeah, Victor, we're there. I seen people walking up, and then they would bow down. They'd get on their knees and bow down, and then throw themselves into the teeth that would make it turn. Then another person would come up and bow down, and it just kept it going. You know, our lives are short, man. People, they sacrifice themselves for this. Then they give it to their children. They raise their children, you know, and they don't even know it. But we will bless the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. Praise the Lord. Be separate, you guys. Just be separate. I don't think we have much time. Psalms 135, verse 18. They that make them are like them. So is everyone that trusteth in them. Those that make them are like them. You notice how when we try to speak to people, they're like, they don't get it. Deaf, dumb, and blind. And then a lot of people I speak to say, yeah, they could see, but there's rudiments. That's why we have the parables, to help us understand the things of this world, the lust of the flesh. They might sit there and say, yeah, they see, but you got to remember what it says. When persecution comes, they falleth away. They falleth away. Why? Because of the lust, the love of the world. I can't tell you how many people have told me, well, it's just the way it is. We have to work. We have to this. We have to that. We have to. We have to. See, that's what they say. They have to. And that's why they are where they are. Okay, you guys. Be separate. Be separate. Know this time is about up. I don't believe we got very much more time. And I'm going to do my best not to even, whatever the world's doing at this point, is sit down and buckle up, like I was told. Just sit down and buckle up, man. Stay out of its way. It's bigger. It's way big. It's huge what's going on. I'd have never have imagined that it would be something this big. But it is, and you know it. You know it. All right, you guys, like I said, I'll probably come on live later at the cabin. It's Saturday. Probably, why not, Just be at peace. Don't be surprised by anything that might happen. I mean, there's so much going on out there right now. Anything. Even from an explosion, the earth, volcanoes, anything. I mean, this place is rocking, man. It's reeling. There's a lot going on in this place right now. Between Trump and between what God's doing, these are like warning signs for us, The world doesn't see it the way we see it. So be separate and stay focused and don't be shocked by anything. All right? And above all, like I was shown, don't provoke. And I kind of feel like that's what I did when I called the police. Like I provoked. And I should have been buckling down, staying separate. Because the police ain't going to do nothing about it. And these people are going to just do their drugs. They're going to pass out. It's going to be what it's going to be, And, you ain't going to sit there and try to preach a sermon to somebody that's addicted. You can't even get it to a church person. How much less do you think you're going to get it to somebody that's addicted? Everybody's going to be where they're going to be, whether they're 30, 60, or 100. I don't know. But if they see it a little bit, well, how they come through, I don't know. But they're all pretty much set in their ways. This is what I'm seeing. I can't wait to get out of here. You guys stay strong. God bless you. And we'll probably see you later on this afternoon in a live video from the cabin in the woods. God bless everybody. In Jesus Christ.